No animals were harmed during this video. No stereotypes were used during the making of this film.
Saddam Hussein has gone to elaborate lengths, spent enormous sums, taken great risks to build and keep weapons of mass destruction.
Saddam Hussein is determined to get his hands on a nuclear bomb.
Nuclear weapon. Nuclear weapon. Nuclear weapon.
Active chemical munitions bunkers, mobile production facilities.
We know he's got chemical weapons. He's got them. He's got them. He's got them.
Britain, France, Russia, China, Pakistan, they have weapons of mass destruction.
Vanunu told the world that Israel had developed between 100 and 200 atomic bombs and had gone on to develop neutron bombs and thermonuclear weapons, enough to destroy the entire Middle East, and nobody has done anything about it since.
Now, talks with Iran have failed since 2009, due in part to the West's insistence that all Iran's nuclear activities be on the table, including enriching uranium for nuclear power, which Iran insists is the only goal of its nuclear program.
North Korea's new leader, Kim Jong-un, appears ready to continue his family tradition of provoking other countries, including the U.S. North Korea is getting ready to launch a new long-range rocket, and it may be preparing another nuclear test.
Keep in mind this, that the Bush administration has built a new generation of nuclear weapons that we call usable nukes. And they have a nuclear posture now which permits the preemptive use of nuclear weapons in a non-nuclear environment if the commander-in-chief deems U.S. forces to be at significant risk. And if we use nuclear weapons, the genie ain't going back in the bottle until an American city is taken out by an Islamic weapon in retaliation. So tell me, you want to go to war with Iran? Pick your city. Pick your city. Tell me which one you want gone. Seattle? L.A.? Boston? New York? Miami? Pick one, because at least one's going. And that's something we should all think about before we march down this path of insanity.
Sorry, Obama. That guy was really starting to give me the creeps.
This must stop. I could have sworn the United States was going to be the only nation with vast amounts of weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, all these countries are like a fine dinner plate, over sudsed, if you will, with dish soap, and so it just like slips out of your grasp.
Yeah. Exactly, George. The U.S. is losing its control across the globe.
Yeah, during my presidency, I was expanding the amount of nuclear weapons I had, and I was afraid that other nations would follow my lead.
I think that was always everyone's greatest fear.
So how are you gonna fix this mess?
There's only one way to fix this. I must call together the Security Council of the United Nations.
Kane is in the building.
Thank you all for coming, Great Britain, France, Russia, and China.
Ni hao.
We are gathered here today because I believe that the world is in grave danger. The spread of weapons of mass destruction is getting out of control. And I hope you have all come with plans that will stop further countries from creating these lethal weapons, especially nuclear weapons.
Well, first off, I believe the problem starts with us. For the less developed countries are only trying to obtain weapons of mass destruction because they feel threatened by the fact that we, as powerful nations, already have the capability to use nuclear power.
Oh yes, and I would like to point a little finger at USA and Great Britain, for you both use nuclear weapons in everyday warfare.
Yeah, so, this isn't quite how I wanted the meeting to go. Immediately everybody turned on me, so, I knew it was about time I set things straight.
The fact that I was put in the same boat as the US, literally, really scares me a lot.
I don't know what you mean.
Depleted uranium! We know you use it on all your gun shells.
France, you've been awfully quiet. What do you have to say?
Oh, I know he was trying to change the subject, but I saw a little wink that told me, I get you.
It's as simple as this. If we were to use all our nuclear weapons, the world would come to an end. So why do we continue to build nuclear weapons? It makes no sense.
Yes! Now we are getting somewhere. I believe an international treaty must be made whose objective is to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and weapons technology.
You know, there is already a treaty that does exactly that. The Non-Proliferation Treaty.
Yeah, what you just said is like a word-for-word definition of the treaty that was put into action in 1970.
Oh wow, you guys really had me going there for a second. How can you all hold such straight faces?
Uh-oh. He thinks we make funny, but we actually serious.
Wait, what?
There seriously was a treaty that was already made that attempted to control the spread of nuclear weapons.
I had no idea. How has the US been getting away with the creation of more and more nuclear weapons?
See, that's the problem. Somehow, we need to make sure that the countries that we represent stop building nuclear weapons along with the less developed countries.
Exactly, and I think that if we made it clear to the less developed countries what the consequences will be if they do make nuclear weapons, they will all be scared at the thought.
Oh yeah, just like in North Korea.
Right. They had to choose between continuing their pursuit of nuclear weapons or receiving food aid from us.
And there were consequences for Iran.
Yes, indeed. We said that if they were found to have nuclear power, we would tell all other countries not to buy goods from them.
So, if we tell other countries that we are trying to build weapons, what the consequences will be, then they will hopefully be discouraged, and we will maintain our superiority across the globe.
But remember, we too must stop building weapons of mass destruction. But it's no biggie because we already have the respect from the other countries, for they know that we have the nuclear power.
Gosh darn it! Fine! I don't know if you saw, but I was crossing my fingers underneath the table, hoping he didn't bring that part back into the plan.
Things that'll bring the trauma. Overseas, yeah, we trying to stop terrorism, but we still got terrorists here living in the USA, the big CIA, the Bloods and the Crips and the KKK. But if you only have love for your own race, then you only leave space to discriminate. If you discriminate, only generates hate. And when you hate, then you're bound to get irate. Yeah, madness is what you demonstrate, and that's exactly how anger works.
Russia, what are your predictions on the involvement of weapons of mass destruction
We
for
will
the...
ask the questions around here.
I believe that this can be done, but I don't think it will be done.
I believe we will all drink tea in peace and harmony.
You know, doesn't really matter what happens. US wins, U.S. saves the world.
Go Josie, go Josie.
Get away from me. Oh. It's very dangerous.